Hey everyone! Today I'll show you my seed starting setup, how I sowed seeds last month indoors and outdoors, how I did everything somewhat in real time. So if you want to sow some seeds with me, grab all your supplies, let us get started. I have this old table which was my office table a while ago. Now I have got a new one, so before selling this one I'm going to give it one more purpose and use it as a potting table for the next 2 months. By the way, I'm currently in my basement. I'll be setting up a Growlight shelf here so that our apartment looks much more cleaner and is not cluttered with all the seed starting setup. I'm protecting the table by covering it with a cloth. These are the supplies we need for sowing the seeds. These are the seed labels, all cleaned and ready for use this year. Next I have my gloves, small shovel, some compost for seed starting mix. I also have some cocoa peat which I soaked in water the previous day. You might know how cocoa peat compressed block works. They need to be soaked in water and it expands with the quantity of water. Add some water. Don't mind the broken watering can, but it still serves the purpose. This is my seed box. The seedlings from February sowing all ready to be transplanted. At first, we'll transplant the chili seedlings. They've got true leaves and this is the right time to transplant them. And I want to do this first prior to sowing seeds so that we could use these containers for sowing the next set of seeds. I don't know, I always feel the shortage of containers. Is it the same for you too? Anyway, first let us fill some soil medium for transplanting. Now all the containers are filled and labeled. I use mainly old soil mixed with some compost as I've shown in my recent video. Let us carefully remove the seedlings. For this I'm using a seed label. You can use anything to prick out the seedlings. Loosen up the soil around the seedlings gently and take the seedling out. With a pen, I'm digging a hole in the new container and planting them a little deeper. This will encourage the plant to grow more roots and we get a small compact sapling rather than a long stretched one. Planting deep usually works for tomatoes, but for me it has worked for other seedlings as well, like chilies, lettuce, etc. I'm repeating the step to plant all the other seedlings. The reason why we transplant is that while sowing, we tend to sow seeds very closely, not knowing their germination rate. Once they germinate, they'll start competing with each other for all these resources like sunlight, water, nutrients in the soil medium. Therefore, we need to give them more space once they are big enough so that they can grow well in their individual pots. Last year, I had made a detailed video explaining all this. All the useful videos will be linked below if you're interested. I have this problem of throwing away seedlings that I don't need. I keep the maximum number of seedlings I can and finally share it among my friends if there are takers. So I'm planting sometimes 2 seedlings in one pot. I'll share one among them with my friends, provided if they survive after this transplant. Now we are done with transplanting. I'm watering the seedlings well. We'll keep the seedlings under the Growlight, but before getting into that, let us sow the seeds. At first, I'm going to prepare the soil medium for sowing seeds. For me, it is mainly cocoa peat with some compost. Compost is optional. We can avoid it and we can grow only in cocoa peat. I've been using this mix since 2 years now and it has given me good results. Let us transfer the soil into the containers. By the way, I use the soil in these containers for the chili seedlings. I've taken out all the seeds I want to sow this month and the next step would be to label the seeds. I'm writing down the name of the crop, the variety if I am aware of it, where I got it from and the date of sowing. Now I'm assigning each pot with one seed label and checking if I have taken out enough pots for sowing all the seeds. I realized I needed 3 more pots to accommodate all the seeds. I like to do all these prep work beforehand so that sowing seeds become easy thereafter and we don't have to run here and there to get more pots or soil or seed labels. If you're growing a lot of crops, this prep work might help you too and it saves time. I like to work with moist medium so that watering is not required after sowing seeds. This way seeds don't get misplaced. So finally, we are ready to sow some seeds. I'm starting with some tomatoes. I'm trying 3 varieties this year. The good old bush tomatoes, which I have been growing since 3 years. I think this would be the last batch of seeds, and for the next year I would have to find new set of seeds of the same type. I really enjoyed growing them and they have not given me any problems till now. I'm also trying some cherry tomatoes. Since I'm growing veggies on my patio, I have decided not to grow any indeterminate tomato varieties that get really tall. I can't give proper trellis to them and they become a real mess during summers. I like my garden to be pretty as well. For that, determinate varieties are the best. This crop will grow up to 80 cm, which is manageable for me. This is the method I often use to sow seeds. With a pen, I push the seeds into the soil up to the depth I want, ideally 3 times the size of the seed, and then cover it with the soil. Likewise, I'm sowing some cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, kohlrabi, holly basil, eggplant, and some flowers too, like snapdragons, zinnias, etc.
Don't listen to what everyone else says. Take your time. You're not their mess. Yeah, you might not be at your best, but it's fine. I don't mind telling truths when you.
I collected these holly basil seeds from my balcony garden in 2019. They sprouted last year, but I couldn't save any new seeds from last year's crop. Let us see if they will sprout this year. So those are the seeds I sowed last month. Next, let me show you my Growlight setup. Some of you might already know it. If you have been watching me for a while, I had used this setup to grow my indoor plants in my last apartment. But from last year, I've been using it to grow vegetable seedlings during spring. Underneath each shelf, I have mounted a Growlight with a double-sided tape. It actually started coming out for some of them and I don't have any more tapes left over. So I'm tying this Growlight to the shelf. I think this will do for the time being. The lights are turned on and off automatically using a digital timer, which is really convenient.
Please don't take this the wrong way. I'm on your side through the worst days. I just have to say I miss my.
I'm turning on the lights only where the chili saplings are kept. This is because for the germination, the seeds don't need light. Once they germinate, I'll turn on the other lights as well.
So count to 10, take a deep breath. This is the only way you'll ever find out.
Yeah, so that would be my seed starting setup. I also sowed some seeds like carrots, radish, beetroot, coriander, spinach outdoors. They can be directly sown outdoors even if it is cold outside. Hope you liked this video. Let me know how far you are in your seed starting journey. Thank you very much for watching. Bye and take care.
And let you know that